Craig, another professional performance against Bala on Saturday night. You gave immediate reaction in the aftermath, but has anything changed in your assessment since then?
Not really. We've just been reviewing the game back there today, so yeah, it was very much similar to what we thought. I thought we were a little bit sloppy the first half hour until we got the goal. Then from then on in, I think we controlled the game. From then on in really, and obviously getting 2 goals for half time, gives the opposition a big mountain to climb, and then we probably maybe a little bit more disappointed we didn't add to the 2 goal tally in the second half. We had more possession, controlled the game a little bit more, but we weren't as clinical as what we'd like to be in the final third in the second half. But yeah, 2-0. We've had a really busy schedule over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we can't complain with a clean sheet and a couple of goals.
Well, one game ends and another one immediately begins. We're back in action here at Parkhill tomorrow against Colwyn Bay, and a good chance to go 6 points clear at the top of the table.
Yeah, it is, but won't be taking anything for granted. Certainly not. We've done our due diligence. We've watched Colwyn Bay. We'll be giving them the respect that they're due. It was a very close game up there. We won 1-0. Yes, I thought we controlled the game, and Colwyn Bay didn't really have many opportunities. But we don't want to be taking things for granted. Certainly not at this stage when we're in good form and good momentum. So yeah, we've been in today. We've prepared properly. We've worked on our game plan. We've worked on our set players. We know what we're going to try and do tomorrow, and we know how we're going to approach the game. And obviously you've got Colwyn Bay, on the other side of that, who I'm sure have got their game plan and how they're going to try and stop us from winning. So yeah, it's really, really important that we take the game to Colwyn Bay, so as early as possible and keep the tempo and the momentum, and we take a bit more care with our possession, and then we'll be a little bit more clinical in the final third.
Colwyn Bay have been struggling to pick up results recently, and as you mentioned, it was a close game last time. Are you expecting more of the same this time around?
Yeah, look, there's a couple of people that have played at both clubs, and there's a little bit of relationships both ways. So obviously know Evo really well. Evo was a player for me here, then also coach the first time round. He's a very good manager. He's a real football person. He's very knowledgeable about football. So we know that, and also he's a born winner. So he's going to be wanting his team, not to come here and he's going to want them to give a really good account of himself and try to win the game. Obviously they're needing points at this moment in time, but we know fine well, as we did against Barry at home, that until as long as we are at it, and we need to be at it from the first whistle to the last tempo, everyone needs to be competing for everything and not take our foot off the pedal and not be complacent, and we go and do what we do. We're confident that we should beat everyone at home, but again, we know in the quite short past that if you're not, a result like Barry Town at home turns around and bites you on the backside, and we will certainly not be wanting that tomorrow night.
Would you say that it's maybe harder to play against a team in the relegation zone rather than one challenging at the top of the table, because they come in with nothing to lose and have more of a tendency to drop off rather than attack and try and win the game?
Yeah, I think it's there's different teams try different things, different formations, different tactics, different game plans. Some play to a front, want to press and try to stop from playing. Some drop all the way into a low block and and let have the ball and try to break them down. We've got enough experience on the pitch and off the pitch to have seen these situations. I think it's more so about us. It's more so about us not being complacent. It's more so about our attitude and our tempo and our way we set about the game, and that sets the tempo, sets attitude for the rest of the game. Now, the first 15 minutes will be really important on tomorrow night, because that sets the precedence, and we know, like I said, certainly in this league, that if you're not at it, you're not 100%, and then you can quite easily drop points, and which, like I said, I keep referring back to Barry Town, but I think it's been a good sort of, for want of a better phrase, stick to beat the players with, because we know that if that doesn't happen, we've lived it, we've felt it, we've went through that. That's 2 late goals at home, and all of a sudden you've gone from cruising to losing 2 points.
It has been a busy spell of fixtures, as you've already referenced. You've made changes for the last 2 weeks, midweek games. They've both been cup games.
Yeah.
There's a league game this time around. Is that going to have any sort of impact on the selection?
Again, we've been in today. We've assessed everybody. Everyone's come in, seen Phil, the physio, and we've went with a team that we think well, a team obviously that's fit, a team that's going to go out and get the best opportunity to win the game. Because as we speak about a lot, as I speak about a lot, this next game's the most important one. Forget about Newtown on Saturday. Forget about the ones that have gone. Forget about the ones in 2-3 weeks. The most important game as we stand right here, right now, is Colwyn Bay tomorrow night. So I'll be putting the team out to try and win that game.
We are unbeaten in 19 games in all competitions. Is keeping runs like that something important to you, or is it just a case of focusing on each game solely as it comes without worrying about statistics like that?
Again, it's very, very boring. I'm going to be very cliche that it is. The next game's the most important one, and we don't look forward to even the, I think was it the 16-17 season when we broke the world record. Then I think it wasn't until about 3 or 4 games beforehand that we actually knew what we're getting into and how how big it could be and how big it was. But yeah, no, it's one of them situations where we are expected to win most games. The expectancy level and the standards that's set from within the club, from myself to the staff to the players to the the owners and etc. is very high. So we go into every game with high expectations, high levels of standards, and we want to go and win every single game if we can.
And then finally, Craig, what is the injury and availability situation looking like ahead of the game tomorrow?
Yeah, really good. Everyone's got through the game. At this moment in time, I think you look at it. There's three injured players. Deck McManus is still one of them. Two in Jared. Horlock, it's still, he's probably a week or two away from coming back in, getting on the grass. But apart from that, we've got everyone fit. So yeah, it's another tough decision for myself. We found on Saturday leaving 2 or 3 players out the squad completely, which is always hard. So yeah, it's hard, but it's a good problem to have.